Hello, I am Commissioner Emma Darnell of the Mighty Six, District 6. Welcome to Mighty Six Conversations. As you know, this is an information and communication program focusing on what we call the sustainable community, economically strong, environmentally safe, with liberty and justice for all. Today's topic is community action. What's going on? We'll be back in a moment. I am so pleased to have joining us today in this conversation Dr. Joyce Dorsey, who is President and Executive Director of the Fulton County, Atlanta Community Action Authority. Welcome, Joyce. It is so good to have you back.
Great to be with you again.
And also, let me just begin by saying congratulations and strong thank you to you and your staff.
Yes.
And the entire faculty community.
Yes, ma'am.
As you celebrate the 25th anniversary of the Fulton Atlanta Community Action Authority.
Absolutely. Thank you for having me.
Well, Joyce, I think we're going to have to call the roll a little bit today at our 25th anniversary.
Yes.
How are we doing?
Well, we are doing good in bad times. We are helping more people than we ever helped before. More people are struggling, more people are hurting, and the jobs are few and the pay is low. So it is a time for us to rise to the occasion and do all we can to help people get through this process.
Yes. Well, without the help of FACA and organizations like yours,
that's right,
we would not have been able to begin here at Fulton County to meet our responsibilities.
Absolutely.
To these marginalized populations.
Yes.
FACA has been especially helpful to us when we consider things like hunger.
Yes.
Homelessness, housing, marginalized populations.
Absolutely.
Joyce, I thought one of the ways that we could approach this, because a lot of folks like me, we know about FACA.
Oh, yes.
But we have a generation that doesn't know.
That's true.
And they want to help. They want to do something. And we want them to know about FACA because for 25 years, you've been helping those who needed help. Yes. Let's take that LIHEAP program and just use that as an example in any of the other programs. Tell us about some of I don't like to talk about programs too much. I like to talk about your action.
Need, yes.
It's a community action agency.
Absolutely.
Yes. Tell us about that LIHEAP. I think people would be surprised, Joyce, to know, who's in that line to get that assistance.
Well, the Energy Assistance Program is what the popular language speaks of.
Yes.
We're talking about people who, during the wintertime, can't pay their heating bills. And many of them are senior citizens.
Many are seniors.
Yes, so many. Now, the monies have been cut down over the years. But out of the 12,000 we served last year, 12,000 that actually got LIHEAP program money. But we're talking about larger numbers in terms of the total program.
We're just talking about the energy assistance.
Oh, yeah. Now, you're talking about maybe 5,000 of those being senior citizens who are also living in subsidized housing. Because you can live in subsidized housing, but your energy bill is the same as anyone else's out there.
I didn't realize that.
Sure, and the thing about senior citizens is they have been disciplined over the years to save for that season or to pay their bill ahead. But even so, that problem of catching up to larger bills is still quite unsustainable.
Joyce, our staff did a study, what they presented it to us as a dashboard But what they did was to do a rather comprehensive study of really what is the real standing of seniors
My.
in Fulton County. And do you know that the data, I got to believe in evidence-based stuff now.
You have to.
The data showed that, well, I'm just asking rhetorically because you
No,
know.
I think you might give me some information.
11.8% of Fulton County seniors
Yes.
said that they choose between food and medicine.
Well, in that.
Now, we have 1 million people, so
Sure.
11.8, that's a lot of folks.
Yeah.
A lot of seniors choosing between
That's
food.
in the hundreds of thousands.
That's up into the hundreds of thousands.
And that's the reported figure. So you and I, who have been practitioners over the years,
yes,
we know that that could be as doubled and we're still conservative.
Well, it's no question that it
Yes,
is.
yes.
Yes, because as we went into the research and the collection of the data and all, we saw that that probably was a low number.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah.
Yes.
As we look at popular polls, even on the presidential level, we find that those who are interpreting those figures usually can inflate them with a bit of safety. And so can we, knowing that a lot of people don't even know that there are alternatives for them. That is, that there's someone out here who can help them get through the winter
And
months.
that's what I want them to, that's one of the things that I want them to understand today, Joyce, when
Yes.
when we finish our conversation today.
Okay.
I think sometimes, folks feel discouraged.
Yes.
They think that everybody is so busy
Yes.
with their own life and their own goals that we have forgotten.
Well, sometimes that is true.
Tell me about that,
what is
Joyce.
the squeaky wheel gets the oil? A lot of folk don't speak out. A lot of folk have been taught to be proud and not complain or not to reveal
It's hidden.
their hardships.
Yes.
They may pray to the Lord for an answer. And every now and then there comes a pop-up message. Did you hear about FACA? Did you hear about United Way? Did you hear about the Salvation Army? They have money that can help you.
Well, it is so important, I think, for folks to know, because without, as I said earlier, we provide some assistance to organizations that are doing something
Right.
that they can show, but without the nonprofit sector, without FACA,
That's right.
we couldn't possibly reach. I tell people all the time, now you wouldn't want to live in Fulton County if you didn't have
Right.
organizations and individuals out here.
I'm telling you.
You wouldn't want to live here.
Oh.
We wouldn't be able to come down here so merrily
Absolutely,
on Proud Street.
Commissioner. Yes.
But in addition to energy assistance, Joyce, you mentioned subsidized housing.
Oh.
Folks don't realize how critical that is to seniors. There's no real affordable, people think that seniors own their homes. Well, many seniors do.
Yes.
Maybe the ones you do know.
Yes. Well, I'll tell you something.
But
Commissioner.
I mean you, but
Yeah.
that, whoever
No,
says that.
it's the truth.
But many seniors tell us about that situation, George.
Well, I'm going to personalize it just a little bit.
Of course.
I'm simply fearful of retiring because the income goes down dramatically. We all know that.
Yes.
But there are very few safety nets. There are very few programs
That net's
can be
kinda broke, isn't
pliable.
it?
Oh, yeah. I
That
think
net-
it has a
that
big
net-
hole in it now.
It's a big hole in that
I'd
net.
hate to get on a trampoline like the safety net.
And that net is,
Yes.
we had a study with the same department that did this analysis. They had some numbers here that, even
Astounding,
though
huh?
George, and we know that these were conservative,
Okay.
for renters in Fulton County, the burden, the cost of rent and rental housing,
Yes.
89.6%
Oh.
of owners. Of owners.
You mean homeowners?
It's a burden.
Yes.
It's a burden.
Yes. And some of them don't qualify for the services because
Explain that.
what's factored into the eligibility picture is your assets. All right. So if your assets go over that poverty
They
line,
tell me about that all the time.
yeah, but you're supposed to want to keep your home.
Yes.
And if you're doing a reverse mortgage, that can also complicate matters. So it's almost as if getting old is a contrived picture.
Yes.
That you are going to go downward spiral rather than subsist because you have invested in your future.
Some people say that that's because of public policy
Yes.
that is affected by a really troublesome word, ageism.
Oh, my Lord.
Ageism.
Well, at this rate, with stress involved, there are a lot of people that may not live.
We're going
through
to
all
talk
of
about
this.
that when we come back,
Okay.
Joyce.
Yes.
Because that is so important.
Yes, it is.
Right.
Thank you.
We'll be back in a moment. Joyce, we were talking about the difficulty that seniors have not only in Fulton County and Atlanta,
Right.
but really throughout the nation
Oh, yes.
as they get older.
Yes.
And some of the folks who have looked at this tell me that complicating this situation is a public policy that seems to favor youth
Yes.
and does not favor the elderly.
And I'm
What
going
do
to say
you think
us.
about that?
Well, I do take it quite personally myself.
Is that true? Are we adopting laws and resolutions? Do we have policies and procedures in government that have a negative impact upon the older worker?
Well, should I just
I'm
bluntly
concerned
say
about
yes?
the older worker.
Yes. Well, now, the older worker is not the problem at this moment because we, particularly who are baby boomers, are causing the senior citizen housing market
I'm not
to
talking about
flourish.
the boomers.
Right, okay. But,
Yes.
but eventually
but they
we're
are
going to
a
dwindle.
special group of
Yeah,
seniors.
we're going to dwindle, and that housing will end up reverting to a younger group of people because the millennials
Interesting.
particularly are not populating the earth at the rate that we did. But what we're having in our age group is the preponderance of high cost living.
Yep.
Apartments that are in senior
Say
villages.
90% the housing is a burden.
Yes.
The cost of housing is a burden.
And now think of the nice senior communities that are being developed. Well, you almost have to be rich to move in
Not almost.
because the subsidies are gone.
Oh, I see.
The subsidies are almost gone, and they soon will be gone because the priorities are not there.
That explains why in every formal and informal survey we have involving Fulton County seniors,
Right.
they list housing as
Yes.
one of the top 3.
Yes, it is.
Of course, transportation is,
Yes.
so many seniors are isolated
That's true. And in this urban environment,
in this environment.
you have public transportation that does not favor the outer communities where senior housing seems to exist mostly.
That's an example of what I think they're trying to say to me about public policies. There
That's
are
right.
certain public policies
Yes,
that really operate, maybe unintentionally,
my.
Well,
I think that urban planning is something that is intentional. I cannot let them escape that because you're
I don't
looking,
see how we can.
No, you're looking at a 20-year picture.
Yes.
And you're actually formulating an attitude toward those who are aging, even if it's subconsciously. And that's what bothers me, because you're talking about a group of people who invested in making a society be as strong as it is. But as they age out, they are not as significant.
Do you think it's cultural at all, Joyce? I remember growing up and spending summers with my grandmother and
Yes.
grandfather
Yes.
in Arkansas.
Yes.
There were aunts down the road and uncles down the road. But my grandmother's house was the headquarters. She
That's
was
true.
highly respected.
Yes, yes, yes.
She wasn't isolated.
No. Well, that is true.
She didn't have too much depression, because she mattered.
She was a centerfold
She
of
was
the community.
essential.
Sure.
She wasn't thrown away.
Sure. But those are values that are going dim.
You think that our values are changing?
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. We're being governed by a different set of people. Now, to me, I think that the aged population has always gotten the short end of the stick, as the colloquial goes. But the truth of the matter is, we become useless in a modern society. We're not working. Not many of our polling possibilities are regarded very much when people want to find out what is your opinion.
They can't find out.
They can find out very easily and probably with more wisdom if they would simply call.
They need to be more positive in seeking the information.
That's true.
And then organizations and folk like us, we have a responsibility for getting it out there. And I must say, FACA really gets it out there.
We do. And we participate on the national level so that you have more sophisticated access to the hypotheses that we're drawing. And the hypothesis is, as you age, you had better have your business straight. Now, one thing about we seniors is that we will pay our bills on time because we know that our insurance and all of the other things have to be paid.
And the homeowners save for their taxes all
That's
the year.
true.
I didn't know that.
Oh, yes, that's
They
true.
save for their taxes
That's
all
true.
the year.
That's true. So we've been disciplined by our life experience,
I see.
whereas the opposite of it is that despite all of what we have acclaimed and accumulated, we are not as valued because we're sort of going out of the picture.
We call that ageism
I see.
when it's interpreted into the law.
Yes.
And it's against the law.
Yes, it's against the
It's
law.
against the law
But it's
in
quietly
government. Now, I don't
practiced.
worry about it too much when government does because there are consequences.
Uh-huh.
But the general society, though, we
The general
can't
society is
touch
not
them.
looking at it that way.
I
They're
never
looking
thought
at,
I'd see the day that people put mama away.
Well, you got to think
Don't even
about
go
the old
see
car
her.
in the garage. Some people are pulling them out and they're becoming very valuable antiques. So if we could do that with the seniors and rely on some of this wisdom and how they can think back to how things got like they were,
It's only
we won't
smart.
repeat the mistakes of the
It's
past.
only smart to do it.
Yeah.
You know, and,
Yes.
and you and I know that, Joyce. You know,
Yes.
if we, you know, it's listening to those who have been that way.
Yes.
You know, something in the scriptures about that. You know,
Yeah.
stand in the way, follow
That's
the
right.
old path.
The old path.
It
But
didn't
you
say
know the
old
other
people.
one,
It said the old paths.
what is the next verse though, Reverend? Is
The
that
good way.
we will not do that. We
Yeah.
will not walk therein.
Yes.
Because there's a stubbornness
Yeah.
about looking at, listening to, and paying attention and abiding by the wisdom statements of people like you and eventually people like me. Because I'm studying you.
I forgot you one of those preacher's kids. I better stay out of the scripture.
Well,
You
no, I
fin-
think you one of them too. we learned pretty good, didn't
Not
we?
too many can finish my scriptures for me, but you finished that one for me.
That's because my father was like yours.
Yeah, they didn't just talk it.
No, they walked it.
They walked it.
Yes, sir.
Yes. You don't have to be a senior to have enough intelligence to follow the old paths.
That's true.
It
That's
said
true.
old paths. It didn't say old people.
No, the old
you know,
path.
old paths.
It's right
Honesty.
there for you to follow.
You know, honesty.
It's
and-
proven.
It's proven. Patience.
Yes.
Humility.
That's right.
You know, but Joyce, I want you to tell us some of the challenges that we have.
Yes.
We didn't win the war on poverty, but we gave them a run.
We gave them a run, and we're going to keep running.
We
them.
gave them a run.
But I want to tell the public about how I followed your example. See, I knew you before you knew me, because I'm going, wow, this lady is dynamite. I'm talking about
Well,
the
some of them
old
didn't use words
county
quite so
commission
charitable.
building that shook when EOA came down the hall.
Yeah.
They could feel the vibration of those who were speaking loud because they voted and they confronted those who needed to be accountable.
Well, now that's who we got to honor because
Yes.
it's because of them
It's because
that
of
we
them.
have those 4 multi-million-dollar senior centers.
Yes, yes,
It's because of them that we have the 17 neighborhood centers.
yes.
It's because of them that this government respects seniors and does not attack seniors. But it was those 300 who came down here to these board meetings
Every time.
with
Just about.
all the medicine for the day
Yes.
in their pockets. I'm getting some signals here, Joyce.
Okay.
We got to wrap it up.
All right.
I want to thank you so very, very much, Joyce, for coming in today. I know what your
Pleasure.
schedule is like.
Pleasure.
Uh,
I'll break the time for this lady right here.
Well, you know, we're here. We've been
Yes.
here, and we're going to continue to be partners with you,
Yes.
with your staff, and all of the many supporters
Yes.
of FACA, you know, throughout this city. You know, this is a caring community. Fulton is a caring
It
community.
really is.
It really is.
Yes.
You know, I tell people all
Yeah,
the
we're
time.
just speaking of the macro picture, though.
Yes.
That is larger than we are.
Yeah,
Yes.
when we get down to it a little
Yes.
close.
Yes.
Thank you so much, Joyce. They're not going to
It's
let me come
always
back
a
on this
pleasure.
program if I don't close it out right
Oh,
now.
I don't believe that for a moment. Do you all out there?
but we're going to continue this one upstairs.
Okay.
I'll be back in a moment with my closing thoughts. Hubert Humphrey said, the moral test of a civilized community is how it treats those who are in the dawn of life, its children, and those who are in the twilight of life, its elderly, it's disabled, it's homeless, and it's hungry. That's a hard test. However, my brothers and sisters, the choice is between chaos and community, and that is no choice at all. To learn more about today's conversation, contact me at 404-612-8222. That's 404-612-8222. You may also email me at emma.darnell@fultoncountyga.gov. And also contact me at emmadarnell.com or contact me on Facebook or Twitter.